It feels good with my headphones off. It's equivalent to taking my shoes off. But it's funny, 'cause I also love having them on. Oh, I love having them on. Oh, I love my headphones, but I love them off. Off, primarily when I'm singing or when I'm trying to bring an idea to life, when I'm talking to God. I love them off. The song don't go together, but it's enough. Eh. Fun fact, I really learned how to use my vibrato when I started listening to The Weeknd, because he does that. He uses that. And even though there are other artists that I listen to, like Amy Lee, she's the whole reason why we really started actually singing, like actually. She has vibrato and whatnot. She just uses it differently, so I used it differently in order to make the same sounds that she did. But like The Weeknd really made me go, whoa, we can do that. Same thing with Florence and the Machine, but it really was The Weeknd that even got me to that point. Florence taught me to be loud. I couldn't really think of anything else. Shakira, I didn't. Okay, that's a lie. I was gonna say I didn't really listen to Shakira growing up, but that's not true. That's not true. I wasn't. I don't even know. She's one of those people that, like, I love her every time I hear her. I love singing her music. I actively would listen to her music videos, and I was watching MTV Threats, and I would love to hear Shakira. Like La Tortura, that was my song. Don't know the words, love the video. I could pretend I know the words. I could pretend I know the words to everything. But making more sense, I just really loved listening to her music, and she had that kind of thing like that. I don't really know how to put that into words. It's more of a throat voice thing. I don't know. But Florence Welch, she does the same thing. I never use her last name, but I gotta really stop saying Florence and the Machine. That's the band, but like, what band? It's really her. It's her. It is not just her, but it is her. Like, it's her voice that I'm talking about, and the genius behind the sounds and stuff. I don't know anything about that person or that situation, because I feel like it always changes. But like, her music is like an adventure. You can hear how much of an adventure it is with her voice, and it's like they make the sounds to her voice. So this, I'm excited to see what types of sounds go with our voice, because what you guys are hearing is still us working on it, but we are definitely better than we thought we were in the beginning of when we knew what we were talking about. This makes sense, follow. And then there's just more to it that we know. We're making the sounds of the songs, of the music, of the melody and stuff, and but like quite literally, not like beatboxing, but I wouldn't put it, there's like no name for it. It's just our voice. And what we were talking about, how we're trying to make things sound blah 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 like it was before, and I'm like, no, let's not try to make something sound the way it was before, because like I said, we went through a funk, and it was like everything, my voice just kind of Thanos from anything that I knew how to do beforehand, and then I got a phone, then I was able to put it up. But like, while every time we come up with something big, we don't have a phone to put it up or anything. Like, it's not a space for us to put it out. So this time we're just like, let's do this, because we're already doing this. And so also, we really like what we put out. So, I'm not really a fan of remixes, but like, remix my voice, I don't care. And my significant other, I feel like he is more of the tech savvy person in general. Like, I have the ability to learn these things, but like, I just don't care about it, because to me, it is about your voice. It is about what you can do without it. I feel like everything does sound the same now, and that is irritating, because I didn't think that I would be that type of person to really feel that way about something, but genuinely I do. We just really feel like everything sounds the same, even though it doesn't. I will definitely say it doesn't. And I like what I like, and I will just leave that part at that. But the whole thing about us is we are really different, and it's so scary to us. It's scarier than we thought it would be, because we didn't think that it would be like this. Anything that we're singing to you right now, when we started out on our journey, it did not sound like this. We didn't even know. We had no clue. And overall, I think it's hilarious because it's still going. And so my untapped potential is continuing to be drilled, like, I want to say oil, but like, we'll say like holy water. We're making a hot springs. Anime. Really, they be like digging wherever they want to. And then they get mad when they strike up oil because the person's already rich. That's hilarious to me. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing, because there's no reason for us to not do it. What are we going to sing about? It's easier for me to speak because I don't have my headphone in my ear right now. The headphones that we have are nice. I like them. We've already expressed that. But it really does, I don't know, it's just that feeling of air going through my ears. It's nice. But I also don't like holding the mic up to my mouth, because I like to use my hands to do whatever it is that I'm going to be doing. And I'm also facing these people's houses right now, so I think that's funny. They're sardine tanks, because the wind is blowing towards the ocean, and I want to look at the ocean. Let me see. Yeah, no, that won't work, because all you'll hear is wind, and that's not what we're here for. I wanted to stand for this too. What do we even talk about? It's not what do we even talk about. To be honest, we can talk about like literally anything that really has to be said. I feel like if you give us a space to just open our mouth and say something, we definitely will. Especially if it comes to mind. I wouldn't call it diarrhea of the mouth, but I would definitely call it, if you got something to say, just definitely say what you're going to say while we're saying something as well. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but I do. It's a conversation, but you can't really have a conversation if you're just talking to the video. Who would have thunk it? But that's a lie, because I'm having a conversation with us, but also with you. See, that's the thing too. It's hard to talk. It's hard to like not, what is the word? It's hard to be conscious of speaking so much when we speak to ourselves very often in clear dialogue. Like, we have a really good relationship with who we are and what it is that we do, and everybody that helps us out in general, like our spirits, our love for everything that we love, is just genuine, and we understand ourselves. And so it's really difficult for me to speak to people, because people think that just because we're talking doesn't mean that they can't have an opinion too, because our energy is big, and so people get overshadowed, or some people will try to overshadow us instead of just like listening. But the thing is like, it goes both ways. We're good listeners too. We're actually great listeners. But at the same time, I think it's really funny, because there will be people that really aren't, they, how do I say this? They are people that have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, good head on their shoulders, but maybe they don't know how to say it, communicate it, or they don't know that, like, or they don't know how to move on. when someone else already understands what it is they're saying. So like diving deeper into the subject. So maybe they don't have more knowledge on that. I'm not entirely sure. It depends on who it is, really. But some people really aren't used to being heard, and some people really aren't used to being understood. And so we have to be patient with those people too. And we're like, okay, they repeated this line probably like a good 4 or 5 times, to make a point, I suppose. But let's keep it going. Let's say some more stuff. Let's dive deep into the situation instead of it just being whatever it is they're saying. And so, you know, as a Sagittarius, I like to say, I like to say it, and I will always point it out too, because I feel like people don't really understand how strong astrology is. But they also don't understand how, like, you do need to take responsibility for your own actions as well. So, like I said, we're very comfortable with ourselves, but we do say it because we are we're very good at picking out specific parts of our personality and ins and outs of everything that makes us us. So we're able to be like, because I'm a Sagittarius, because I know that specifically that aspect of my chart, of my life, of my being, of my personality, of my energy is exactly the reason why we do what we do in certain situations. And so I'll point it out. I'll be like, because my Venus is a Scorpio, because my rising is a Leo, but it's not. It's a Libra, but I resonate with both. We're not gonna talk about that. I think I already spoke about it, but if I haven't, it'll come up again. But because I am a Sagittarius, we think very quickly, and so like we'll just pop off what we're saying, and like yes, we are mutable. We're extremely mutable. So, some people can't really follow what it is that I'm saying, and they'll think that we're going in rabbit holes like my dad. My dad is a Leo, which is a fixed fire sign. And he is the one that I say will repeat the same story over and over again. It doesn't change. It doesn't have any more facets to it. And so, like, and then I'll ask pinpointed questions trying to get more out of the situation. But like it's that's all about the energy of growing on your own, especially as a fixed sign and as a Leo, which is a fixed proud sign. Moving on. So, oh no, there's people. Anyway, I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and like I didn't think that I would like that anime so much, but it got me. It got me. It snatched me. It did. And I will talk more about that definitely after, at some point. Not now. I'm going to remember I said that, because my goodness. So as a Sagittarius, there's so many different things that we're thinking about. And this was the example of what we're speaking about right now. I feel like there should always be some type of adventure in what it is you're speaking about. It shouldn't just be what it is that it is. Like, school would be a lot more important to a lot of people if it was actually interesting to a lot of people. I personally like school most of the time. And yes, I do liked it for the food and the people that I liked when they was there. I was always that kid that when the teacher said grab a partner, and my friend happened to be in that class. Seriously, everybody, let me know if you're that student that like never had friends in the class you were in. And then when the teacher said grab a partner, what did you do? Because I like working alone. I don't care. But my friend would be in the class, and it would be my best friend, so called. And excuse me. And she would want to team up with somebody else. And I'm like, sabotage? Betrayal? But whatever. So like if it was more interesting, and if the teachers had more like stories, more actual stories, because I feel like people be really like telling stories. I guess this is subject for like a lot of different kids don't need to hear a lot of things, and it really does depend on if your kid is where they need to be. Some kids really need to be homeschooled, and then you can share with them whatever you want to share with them and stuff. Just make it fun. And I feel like when people have conversations, look at this, now we're going back to what we were talking about before. When we have conversations about things that are like so spiritual, so worldly, otherworldly, if you will. I wouldn't even say otherworldly, because what I talk about is really basic to me, but it is not, apparently. And that type of situation, people take it as an advantage to be like, oh, I can finally talk about this with someone. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you can talk about it with me. Like, well, I'm not trying to go off the wall and stuff like that. Like, I really just learned about what this stuff is, but I have such a profound understanding of it that I'm actually very surprised about that myself. But like some people, a lot of people, everybody in my personal reality in general, they've either grown up with this stuff, or they have a bad idea about it, or they spent their whole lives in basic reality, and they've never even thought that any of this could be real. And their brains might break, but they're more open than you think. We talk to all walks of life. It's a lot different. But like there'll be people that are just like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a preach, which is fine, because we do that. However, we do it in a way where it's like, okay, we're literally having a conversation. And I like to hear what other people have to say, because if I speak too much, I really might break your brain. But at the same time, if I don't speak at all, then what am I even doing here? Because I'm not supposed to be sitting here listening to everybody if I'm not actually having a great time. If I'm actually having a great time, that's different. And so these people will be like, okay, I'm just gonna tell you what you need to know, but I'm not going to acknowledge that you actually understand what it is that I just said that you needed to know. And so that right there, I'm just like, are we really having a conversation? Are we really bending each other's minds right now? So now coming back to the main reason why we started saying that is, if you have a conversation with me and you're in front of me and we're talking, or, whatever, however it is that the kids communicate nowadays, you know, don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to say something. I feel like people also are afraid of having an opinion in front of me. And it's okay to have an opinion, because I already know what you're thinking, even if I don't know what you're thinking. And I think that's pretty cool, because I like to test it too. I'm like, and I'm just throwing back ideas in my head. I'm like, they could be thinking this, or they could be thinking this. And then I'll ask them, be like, what are you feeling? And then they'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, interesting. I got that too. And if straight up, if I was wrong, like if I didn't feel like I was gonna, like if I didn't understand something, I'll straight up be like, I didn't think about it like that. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong about stuff. However, I am rarely wrong about things, because gosh dang it. See, the thoughts that happen in my head, I'm going to just say it, because we're God. It's really difficult for us to be wrong, because we are, praise the Lord, hallelujah, we are Jesus Christ. This is who we are. However, the whole fun in being who we are is the constant learning. So bending my mind and thinking about stuff in a different way is constantly happening in my head. And so I don't know everything. And yes, I may be right about a lot of stuff, but the timing of stuff, that's and it's funny how things happen when they want to happen, but also happen exactly how they were supposed to happen. But then the other thing didn't happen until it decided to happen at the time that it happened, in the same way that we thought it would happen, at the same kind of timing, but yet it didn't happen when we thought it would happen. And so we're just waiting. We're just waiting for it to happen. But then it happens, and we're like, what the heck? Because everything that we've said has happened, but it happened in such an interesting way. Such an interesting fashion. So people think we manifest very well because things that we've said have happened. However, the things in my life have happened differently, but also the same way that we thought. Like, we had a premonition that our significant other was going to go through the things that he has went through. However, we had to get over it then. Like, we had to go through the energy of being jealous and all of this stuff, and accept that everything was gonna be fine. And then, it happened. Just like Janae Aiko, I had a dream about you leaving me. Next thing I know, you're leaving me. But it wasn't just that. But anyway. And now what, nigga? You can't get away from me. That's a double-edged sword. Anyway, what is this video? Yeah, it's funny because at the end, I'm just like, dang, I really do wonder how many people can really pick up what it is that we're talking about. Because some people's minds really don't work that way. But for me, it really is straightforward. It's very straightforward. And the way we say things, it's funny because people are like, you're speaking in metaphors. And I'm like, but I was being very honest. Like, I was just saying what I was. Or I'll say something and, like, I don't know what I'll say. I'm trying to think of an example that isn't worse than the example of what actually happened. But I said something to somebody, and then somebody's like, stop yelling at me. And they were serious in the way that they were like, man, she wasn't yelling, but the words that she said it in such a nonchalant way, but it stabbed me in the heart. Stabbed me in the heart. And I thought that was really funny because I'm like, dang, that's hilarious. Yes, this was about singing, but I'm glad we talked about what we talked about, because that's something that we talk about a lot to ourselves, because people really do think that we're a lot, and it is because they don't know how to speak with people that can actually handle them. So it's new. And I think it's funny because there are a lot of people that you can have intelligent conversations with, should you choose to. Should you choose to actually be better than you were yesterday. And so there's just a lot that goes into it. And for a while, going through this journey, I really did forget that I was the highest vibration, because I really did choose to let people bring me down in some type of way. Like, maybe they are right. Maybe they're right about this. When God was like, no, you're wrong. I've never been so wrong about stuff, besides the point where I was admitting that I was wrong about stuff even though I wasn't. I think that was the biggest lesson that I've had to learn, and I'm still really learning it because I'm humble to an issue. Like, I'm vain. I am who I am. I really am who I am. But, like, I'm so humble to a fault where I'm just like, check yourself, because you know this is your path and what you're supposed to be doing right now. So don't you dare let anybody else feel like they told you something that you didn't already know about yourself, because they have no reason to tell you anything, because it's not in good energy. It's usually people that are not in good energy. Know yourself. But yeah, school would be a lot more important if people talked about things like that as well. Dang, I like school. I truly do. Who are these people? They're making all this daggone beatboxing noise. They're not even beatboxing. It's like it might be sneezing, to be honest. I sneezed today and I scared myself. Okay, let's end with a song. Where are we at in the time? Oh, we got like 10 minutes, which is enough time for a song. Yay! What kind of song? Wakarimasen. Let me figure out. Well, I don't know. What were we even talking about? And would that help in a song? I used to just say sounds and they would just make sense. I'm still able to do that. It just feels different when I'm recording. it really is crazy how your energy can change when you are like recording. Today we've learned to include people into our energy. I'm sorry if that was loud. What I will say is that for a while, not for a while actually, the whole reason we've said it, we didn't like being vulnerable with our music. It's something important to us, so we didn't want that to be given to the world so that they can try to critique it and stuff like that and whatnot, which is why we're so kind when we say things about other people's art and stuff, because we understand them more than anything. It's not just about the music, but overall, like, I felt like people didn't deserve to hear what we had to say. I felt like nobody understands us the way that we truly feel like we understand others, and we didn't feel like they deserved to hear anything we had to say, because they're not going to be listening anyway. They're not going to treat it the way that we would treat their stuff, that we do treat their stuff. Nobody gives us the love that we put out into the world. And so we just didn't want to keep that wall up, because that's, like I said, I am an elitist. I don't mean to be, but that is definitely my nature. And now, upon knowing who we are, for obvious reasons, but I don't really hold a grudge of any kind. It's more of a feeling of like, I just want to be put in a situation where I can be happy as well. And that's really all I want from life, for anyone, to be honest. I want people to be happy, because then they'll leave me alone. Ah, I want you to be just as happy as me, because then you'll leave me alone. Let me be free. Let me. I want to see you flying over me. Let you be free, 'cause then you'll let me be me. Let me. These people are being louder than they need to be, and that's okay with me. Why? Because I'm free. But can you talk somewhere away from me? Please. Kudasai. I can't even think of anything right now, but I'm really glad that we made a video about it anyway. Where are we at? Maybe I'll try again. We can try it again. I'm trying not to just make love songs. I'm not upset about it. It's just like, what else do I have to say? But like, it really is like that. Ooh, we're doing something. We started a new project. We're really happy about it. This is actually a success. We don't, there's, not a lot of people here yet, but that's perfectly fine. But this is a success. We actually have a presence. We are online. Excuse me. Praise the Lord. I'm releasing. Okay. Okay. Let's focus, because we don't have time for that. Let's see. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Let me talk to God for a second. Let me get into this. Seriously, go somewhere else. You were over there. I think you were even taking a nap. Did y'all come over here because I'm standing up over here? The rudeness of it all. I'm glad y'all having fun though. That's the thing I have to remember when people are here. It's like, I'm glad you're living your life. I'm glad you're happy doing something. Truly. Truly, I do feel that way. I don't want people to be hermits anymore. We need to stop. We ourselves need to stop We need to stop. I'm too good at being a hermit. I'm like a ninja. Nobody knows anything about me. And I'm glad. But I'm glad at the same time that, we're doing something about that. Wants to be not misunderstood anymore, but like doesn't know how to like not be a hermit. Like I'm so good at being behind the scenes because everything we've had to do really depended on people being like depended on us being behind the scenes. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if you can beat me. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running behind the scenes. I'm running, you can't see me. You cannot catch me. I'm running. It's like slow, slow, slow and steady wins the race. But can you see my pace? It's like I'm out of space in the ethers. And no, I ain't watching you either, but I'm praying for you in your success. I wish you the best. Can you please talk less? And yes, I mean that. Can you talk less? Do more actions speak louder than words. That's why you ain't never seen me do nothing, but yet I'm shining. Shining. Shining, I'm climbing, I'm running, and you can't see me. You cannot see me, neither. You cannot see me, neither. And please don't you even think of trying to leave her. 'Cause I don't want nothing to do with a cheater. I'm a believer in true love. I got it. He ain't right here by my side, but I got it. 'Cause he's in my heart. And no, I won't start, but he's in my heart. Praise the Lord. He was always in my heart. But nah, I won't start. Okay, we're done here. It turned into a love song anyway. Alright. I'm hoping that everybody is working on their projects as well. I know that we've all had quarantine projects, but my quarantine project was like literally living my life and doing my best. And I'm glad because we didn't have a phone and that sucks. But we're here now. I'm also happy about that realization because I pray that that continues to be a thing because my life is still doing some things, but we're very hopeful for good things because we really have good things to be happy about, which I want to speak more about in the future. But as of right now, Jane, oyasumi nasai. Arigato gozaimasu.